global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Some Wike is very rude, disrespectful, because Rufai Amaechi is his boss.
I called him Mohammed Bello Adoke, flew all the way from Abuja to Port Harcourt. That Wike asked me to make him commissioner for finance, and I said no. He has to work under me. I want him as chief of staff so I can supervise him.
That is the person that will come here and pronounce with his mouth that a minister of this, a former governor, a minister, somebody he wants to run to for help, and call that person a rude person.
Wow, it was quite a drama in AriseTv today. Larry had an opportunity to fire back at Arise, and Arise also had to cut him to size. But then, being that he's a spokesperson of Wike, somehow the spirit that is at work in Wike, according to Oni of Ife, is also at work in him. So he did not hold back. Let's watch the moment and we're back to talk.
First and foremost, I want to commend the management, especially the chairman of Arise News. That's one of the leading light in journalism profession in this country, the Prince Duke. I want to commend him. I want to commend him for today because I can see that Mr. Ruben Abati is not here because I was not expecting him to be here because he took position of a special assistant on media to Rufai Amaechi. He took position of spokesperson to Rufai Amaechi. So I was thinking that to be professional, to operate normally, Ruben Abati will not be among those who will sit in the studio to interview me. I said that it will be on this side of the discussion this morning. So while I will be talking in defense or in support of the FCT Minister Wike, he will also be talking in support and in defense of Rufai Amaechi like he has been doing. And I said that probably he has been appointed as a special assistant on media to Amaechi because I watched him like 3 or 4 days ago here saying that talking like the minister is rude, is this, and using unprintable words that I was not expecting to hear from somebody who has functioned as editorial chairman of Guardian newspapers. For somebody like that to come to studio and begin to call a minister rude in defense of Rufai Amaechi, because he was supposed to, in journalism, we are not supposed to have opinion. So I was shocked to hear him turning himself to spokesperson of Amaechi. And I want to also suggest that since he's now Amaechi's spokesperson, he should excuse himself from AriseTv and go and do his job properly. He should not be using a platform provided by respected Nigerians like Oga Nduka Obagbena to ventilate his anger, his frustration, and his hatred for Wike. Because it is obvious that he hates Wike. He said here that Wike is rude. When he had issue with EFCC and he had to pay back the money he got from Dasuki loot, then the alleged Dasuki loot. He himself and his wife knew the road to Wike's house to go and beg for a bailout, which is obviously got. And Wike was not rude that time. Oga Ruben Abati has always come to this station to present himself as a moral police, to present himself as a moral police. And he will not one day tell us that at one point in his life, he's a politician, a member of PDP. At some point in his life, he was PDP deputy governorship candidate in Ogun State. And he was comfortable having his picture displayed with that of somebody who was wanted by the American government for alleged drug trafficking. He was comfortable on the podium with somebody who was wanted by the American government for alleged drug trafficking. That is the person that will come here and pronounce with his mouth that a minister of this, a former governor, a minister, somebody he wants to run to for help, and call that person a rude person. It is to me, I never believe that kind of word. But you know him. He's a bully like he has always been. Even you that you are talking to me now, I've seen videos in the studio bullying you, telling you that you did not respect him. You did not call him Oga, even you that are his colleagues, on live TV. So I want to commend the management of AriseTv for taking him out of today. So that
that is not what happened, sir. That is not what happened, sir.
Mr. Leary, and also speak.
Mr. Leary, if you will hear me,
like special assistant or
if you will hear me,
former governor of Rivers State and former minister of transportation,
okay.
Rufai Amaechi.
Mr. Leary,
in that regard.
Mr. Leary, no, I have to come in. I have to come in here.
The minister saying that,
Mr. Leary, I have to come in here. Mr. Leary, I have to come in here. It's not a monologue. Mr. Leary
Governor of Rivers State for 8 years.
I have to come in
Minister
here.
of Transport for 8 years. That is 23 years. How can that person come and deceive Nigerians that is hungry? In my place, they will use Yoruba and say, because if you have been in government, you have lived on public fund for 23 years, just 2 years out of that public fund, the opportunity of eating government money, and you are now hungry. What kind of hunger is that? And you choose your birthday. And that is what we are saying. And I'm saying this again. Nigerians should stop allowing themselves to be deceived People who were in government yesterday, because they are no longer in government, when they were in government, they did not call Nigerians to say, oh, Nigerians, so this is what we are doing. Come and join us to enjoy a public fund. Now they are out of government for just 2 years. They have suddenly become champion of democracy. Amaechi has now become champion of democracy. Amaechi, under whose judiciary in Rivers State was shut down for over 1 year. No court did not work in Rivers State for over 1 year. He is now champion of democracy. And Nigerians are listening to him. I don't understand. Amaechi was Minister of Transport. And rail line that was done here was like 50% higher than the ones that was done in a country like Ethiopia. Ethiopia did its own for $4.4 million per kilometer. The one under Amaechi was done for $3.4 million per kilometer. And that one, the one in Ethiopia was double lane. The one in Ethiopia was double lane. The one Amaechi did was single lane. And that is the person that is now presenting himself as champion of good governance, champion of democracy. Just because he contested APC primary with the present president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He lost. He lost primary. And he said he did not support Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he had no capacity. And Nigeria proved him wrong. He said, oh, okay, carry your support and go.
So we must have to say a couple of things. Number one, first and foremost, Dr. Abati did not leave because of the fact that Larry Olayinka was coming here. We have to restate that. He was indisposed. He couldn't make it here. He called in sick. Number two, all your allegations against him are unsubstantiated, and he has a right of reply. And he will also take his right of reply when it comes. And it is not fair to cast aspersions about a man and say things you do not know. So you thanking AriseTv for not putting Dr. Abati here, that's untrue. That's not a fact. That's not a single fact. He called in sick and is indisposed. And he will get a chance to be.
Wow, that was a drama that took place in AriseTv. And I must say, it was unbelievable. I mean, the way Larry spoke and all of that. But however, he was able to label his grievances against Dr. Reuben Abati in front of his colleagues. My colleague is in the house. What's your standpoint on his position?
One thing I know for sure, Reuben Abati is going to come back and defend himself. But what I would, if I was to be in the Dr. Reuben Abati's shoes, I would not address anything to Larry. Larry is just an ordinary spokesperson. Addressing him or talking to him is belittling yourself. If you can address the principal, which is Wike, which is to me, Reuben Abati is a big boy when it comes to politics. Larry is only a spokesperson. Whatever it is, rights to response or whatever, Abati should ignore Larry. Direct whatever response back to Wike. Because I do know for sure that Larry on his own, based on what Isaac Fayoshe has said concerning him, Larry cannot on his own come and begin to defend his principal in Arise. I am so sure that this whole thing was paid by Nyesom Wike himself to defend him. So most definitely, this is coming from sponsorship of Wike. And that, like Fayoshe has said, that this is somebody if he wants to go that way, there are a lot of dirty things on social media concerning Larry. But to think that he will stoop so low and begin to talk about animal science, animal science called journalism. What's the business of animal science? So the question, he left the quest professionalism and he went dirty, just the same way Nyesom Wike would do. Now, if you remember the interview between Rufai Amaechi in Arise Television, you will see the professional, the gentlemanliness of Amaechi. He refused to join issues. In fact, he said, okay, fine. Wike appointed himself. Wike made himself governor. Wike, just to avoid unnecessary altercation. But look at the words. The words. Larry that is going below the belt, he has his own life too. It's not as if Larry is actually a saint. Wike is defending his principal. It's not also a saint.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's with this high-handedness?
The issue of just facing the topic at hand.
This is where Peter Obi is so lovely. I give him 100% in Peter. Peter Obi will never talk about a personal affair. It's the reason why he's here is about politics of Nigeria, affairs of Nigeria. He's going to discuss it strictly.
But
doesn't care.
But do you think that it was Dr. Abati that started it first? Because he's still talking about the issue of rudeness and saying that the whole minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is disrespectful and that even the president should be aware of him who extends such disrespect to him. Do you think that it was Dr. Abati that started it first?
But Dr. Abati did not start anything. If you want to look at the genesis of this problem, let's be objective, regardless of whose horse is being got. It's still the same Wike. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Wike will sit back. There's nobody say an elder in front of Wike. from Bode Jojo to the late Pa Edwin Clark, to even Peter Oddi, they say, "Call that one another. Is that one to another?" Eh? Everybody is insultable. I guess at some point, Dr. Ruben Abati couldn't take it anymore. To come, is it that nobody can tell this guy the way he is, really? And it was very, if you ask me, Dr. Ruben was quite professional about saying he is rude. Because if you want to go dirty on the gutter way, there are many things we could talk about Wike, but he didn't go there. He just said those things that are already on the media. Everybody knows that Rotimi Amaechi was the boss of Wike. It is something that you cannot deny. Should we stop this playing to the gallery? We shouldn't be playing politics on truth and facts.
It's like becoming one day I become a president of Nigeria, and I say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was never my president. At one point, he was your president, whether you like it or not, you know. Or, for example, Fubara one day wakes up and says that Wike was never his governor, and Wike never employed him and all of that. Come on. And that's why I say, I think with their years of experience in politics, they need to start exhibiting some level of maturity, you know, in this whole thing. Because fighting dating like this, I don't know how their mentees are looking at it. It's, for me, it's quite uncalled for. And I feel that they should just sit by. And just like my colleague Raleigh pointed out, I think that Dr. Abati should, shield that and move forward. There are better things to talk about, you know, so that, you know, it will not always be every opportunity they step into the ring. It's always on battering each other and all of that. It's not really necessary. That's where we like to leave it. Let's be in a conversation.